Welcome to Flashpoints. I'm Jeff Pegues, along with Juan Zarate, CBS News senior national security analyst. Turkish troops moved into Syria. There's something about this that you find fascinating.
Right. I think this is an important moment for a couple of reasons, Jeff. The Turks have had a sacred site, the tomb of Suleiman Shah, the grandfather of the Ottoman Empire, that has been Turkish territory officially in Syria since the 1920s. They've defended that territory. That has flown the Turkish flag, and they've told the Islamic State, the Syrian government, and all actors in the civil war that we are going to defend it. And they have. The problem is that they were encircled and had been encircled by the Islamic State, and that tomb was under fire and under jeopardy. And so what the Turks did was they moved in with forces into Syria, about 22 miles into Syria, withdrew their forces that were protecting the site, and withdrew the artifacts. They moved it to another part much closer to the Turkish border, but it was a demonstration that not only did Turkey have interests in Syria, but that they could move men and materiel into Syria at will to defend their interests.
And was there a response from the U.S. in all this or not?
The U.S. didn't object, certainly did not object. And in fact, I think the U.S. probably liked the signal of the Turks engaging in some military muscle movements in Syria.
Well, why is that important?
Well, this is important because keep in mind that there's been a question all along as to whether or not Turkey would take a heavier hand in the coalition to fight the Islamic State as well as to deal with problems in Syria. Keep in mind, Jeff, we don't really have a clear strategy as to what happens next in Syria. And Turkey is the big behemoth in the region, a NATO member with military power and force and with interests in Syria. This is a demonstration where if Turkey wanted to be more involved, they could be. It's a matter of getting the configuration right and the motivation right for the Turks.
But is it a signal that they will become more involved in Syria?
I don't think so. You could read this two different ways. You could say, look, this is perhaps a signaling mechanism to all of the actors in the space, the Islamic State, Jabhat al-Nusra, the al-Qaeda affiliate, even the Syrian government, that we're here, we're going to defend our interests, and if we want, we'll come in and out. So that's a potential signal. The other side of it is, look, they're withdrawing. They have now abandoned this tomb that they said they would defend, and they weren't able to defend it. And that's a signal that Turkey really hasn't made a decision yet as to what its posture is going to be in Syria. The trick here, Jeff, is that the Turks are looking for guidance and sort of coalition support, in particular from the U.S. They want a signal from the U.S. that we're going to do something about Assad, and something like a no-fly zone, a no-drive zone, could possibly motivate the Turks to be more involved in Syria.
Well, I'm glad you brought that to our attention. It's something that we'll have to keep watching. For Juan Zarate, I'm Jeff Pegues. That's Flashpoints.